Hello and welcome to a Reddit stories/confessions video. My name is Dystopic and I'll guide you today down this wretched path. Let's go ahead and get started with our first story. My landlord was stealing $100 a month from me, so I ruined his house. Last year, my life was a wreck. I hit rock bottom so bad that I ended up sleeping on the streets for a couple of nights until a close friend found out and didn't hesitate. He offered to pay for a small room, not registered, just outside of the city center. That moment was probably the most humiliating of my life, but also one I'll never forget. That's when I snapped out of it. I refused to stay down. I picked up 3 jobs and started working 22 hours a day. I gave myself 1 day off in a whole year. Just one. Eventually, I was so exhausted I'd fall asleep while walking. I had zero control over my body, just pure survival mode. And before anyone talks crap, only I know how deep I was in debt. Then things got weird. After the 3rd month in that room, I started noticing things, like my things weren't where I left them. The door only locked with 1 turn. Money vanishing, not much at once. About $20 here and there. So I blamed sleep deprivation, and honestly, I was so drained I didn't even try to figure it out. I just collapsed onto the bed the second I got home. 8 months in, and it all blew up. I accidentally slept through my alarm for the first time. I missed work, and I remember hearing the alarm, but I physically couldn't move. I was wrecked. Then I heard keys at the door, and a man walks in, sees me, and he freezes, and quickly mutters an apology before leaving. It was my effing landlord. The bastard had been robbing me the whole time. He was helping himself to my money while I was working myself into a coma. He'd been stealing around $100 a month while I was eating instant noodles and trying to get off debt. But I didn't have a reaction. I literally passed out again. But when I woke up, I made the decision that I couldn't afford to move yet. I mean, not with the debt, not with my schedule, so I waited 4 more months. He kept getting inside the room, but the money wasn't there anymore. I confronted him once, but he played the innocent landlord card, saying he was just checking on me because I missed work. By the end of the 11th month, I had 1 month left at the room, and that was payback month. I started delaying rent on purpose, said I couldn't afford it yet, kept making excuses, but during those final days, I removed the water tubes/pipes of the washing machine and ran the machine over and over. Completely flooded the entire floor with water since he lived underneath. I accidentally destroyed his ceiling, ruined his walls, and trashed some of his antique furniture. He couldn't accuse me of shit because there was 2 more people renting rooms upstairs. When I moved out, I left a piece of paper with written lyrics. Some people will say they care, but such words will have no meaning. Some will actually help. It's hard to forget both feelings. Some men work so hard in this world only for others to keep stealing, but they say karma always finds a way. Sometimes it walks in, other times it leaks through the ceiling. I never heard from him again, and now I'm out of debt. OP, that's quite an interesting story. I gotta say, leaving him a little bit of, shall we say, some quote-unquote lyrics there is pretty funny. I think the landlord probably just accepted defeat at that point, because what more could he do? You kept calling him out on his bullshit, and there's nothing he could have done at that point. That's not the worst story we've ever read before, ever seen when it comes to landlords. I've seen much, much worse, like identity theft, but I'm glad that at the end of the day, you're out of debt and you're doing good now. So let's move on to the next one. I turned a friend in after he admitted he killed his pet for pleasure. We were literally lifetime friends, and due to me being immigrant, I hadn't seen him in so long. So during my vacation, I went to visit him. He told me a bunch of weird things about his new interest and how his life had been changing and etc. The conversation started to shift to him saying he's more mature now and that a real man should hunt and etc. But when I heard I broke his neck with my hands just to find out I couldn't feel a thing, remorse-wise, I got a cold feeling and I instantly knew something was super off and something was going on with him. So I didn't say anything weird, but I drove to the police station and snitched on him. I feel bad AF for the animal and for losing him as a friend, but that was way too heavy for me to be hanging around. OP, I think that honestly, if you follow any of these serial killer type stories, you'll know that a lot of times people will start off harming animals at first, and slowly but surely it'll go from one an animal to eventually humans. I mean, that happens all the time with these different serial killers. And while your story comes off as if it's like a hunting, like it says hunting, so it seems like it would be an animal that's, it would still be weird to do that to an animal you're hunting, but it doesn't seem as bad. Whereas your title there literally says killed killed his pet. So I think that what you did was honestly very understandable. That's you know, snitching on a dude like that, it's worth losing that friend. As unfortunate as it is to lose a long-term friend, if they're trying to kill animals, if they're choking an animal, if they are squeezing the life out of it just to see if you have any remorse and you don't, like, we got some psychopath tendencies here. There's something not right in that person's brain. You did a good thing by turning them in for this. I accidentally matched with my 60-something landlady on Tinder. Now I leave the house pretending I'm the cleaner. So yeah, I live alone in a small apartment. I rent from this sweet but super noisy older woman named Lisa. Not her real name, but fits. The other night, I re-downloaded Tinder, like any emotionally stable adult would, and started swiping like a chimp on Double Espresso. At some point, my brain just switched off. I was swiping right on pure instinct. Beard, dog, skydiving, pick, who cares? Go, 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 go. And then it happened. I matched with my landlady. Her name was different, but the scarf collection and the 90s style wallpaper in the background, unmistakable. I sat up in bed like I just remembered I left the stove on. 10 seconds later, well, didn't know we both liked gardening. I unmatched so fast I got whiplash. Now every time I see her, I avoid eye contact like I owe her rent in blood. I once meowed when she knocked just so she would think I wasn't home. Yesterday, she saw me leaving. I panicked, told her I'm just the guy who helps the tenants with Wi-Fi setup and vacuuming. I've been faking being my own tech support cleaning guy for 3 days straight. I don't know how to end this. OP, I don't know that there is a way out of that. You're kind of just... you're doing what you gotta do, because at the end of the day, if you want it to not be embarrassing, you just gotta deal with it. And at the end of the day, you know, I think honestly that's a very awkward situation. So you're doing the best you can. I think just keep pretending. Never look their way. Just keep pretending. Don't think about it, and you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. But anyways, guys, that's all the stories I have for today. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up and check out other videos I've made in the past. And remember, have a pleasant day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.